And welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Love Ribbon. I'm the Leviathan, and let's continue on with the game. Where we last left off, there was some tension between and Zoey. He didn't think that we were sisters and DNA tests, and then there was a bit of a tension, and then feelings came out and such, and yeah, so let's continue on. I'll wait anxiously in front of the train station as strangers continue to pass me by. For half an hour, I stand in the same spot, barely moving. I check my phone, look around a bit, reconfirm my time, then return to the original position. Like so, I whittle away my time as I wait for my escort. This isn't exciting, but it does help me to calm my nerves, and on this morning, exactly what I need. Why did I get here so early? I knew Zoey wouldn't show up on time. I complain to myself as I confirm how long I've been waiting. Before I can get too riled up, however, a familiar figure approaches, smiling happily. Yo, sorry I'm late. You've been waiting long? I stare at Zoey bemusedly. I arrived 10 minutes early. You're 25 minutes late. Yes, I've been waiting a long time. I place my hands on my hips and puff out my cheeks as Zoey scratches the back of her head. I'm supposed to say, no, I only just got here. This isn't a TV drama, Zoey. You asked me out and then you showed up late. This isn't a good way to start a date. Yeah, you got a point. Why did we have to meet up like this anyway? We live together, why don't we just arrange a time and place to meet? It doesn't matter if we have to or not. This is supposed to be a date, right? Don't you want the full date experience? Getting dressed up, arriving at the meeting place early, feeling your heart pounding as the other party finally shows up. I'd still rather skip the unnecessary wait. What were you even doing? You didn't actually forget, did you? Of course not. We're just having a hard time picking out an outfit, that's all. Right. I look Zoey up and down. Her outfit is the same casual clothing I always see her wearing. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're the same clothes she slept in. Anyway, is there anywhere in particular you want to go? I know I'm the one who asked you out, but the places I thought up were nothing special. Not especially. How about we start with one of the places you wanted to go, and then we'll see where the day takes us. Sounds like a plan to me. Let's go, my dear. Oh, yeah. Zoey begins to walk ahead, slows her pace to match with mine. As we walk together, however, I find little joy in the act. All I can think about is how strange Zoey was acting. Is that what people act like on a date? Is she trying too little? Am I acting strange too? These thoughts fill my head as our first destination comes into view. Yeah, so this is our first stop. I'm sure it's not a good place to go on a date, but I've been spending a bit of time here, so I thought maybe... I stare through the window of the store. This? Music store? Something like that. They sell instruments, guitar picks and strings, drumsticks, everything you need for a real show. You won't find any CDs or vinyls though, they just sell what you need to make music. I see. Looking through the window, I almost gasp as I glance at some of the price tags. Oh my gosh, $3,000 for a guitar? Are they really that expensive? Nah, not mine, and not any real musicians. Putting an expensive, well-known guitar on display in the window shows people that they sell serious, high-quality merchandise. It also makes the prices of the other guitars you come across seem more reasonable, even if they're totally overpriced. Ah, so it's a marketing ploy. Something like that. Anyway, I rarely buy anything from here myself. I usually just come to play with the instruments that I can't afford. And the staff don't mind you doing that? Not at all. Having a skilled performer play in your store is a great way to attract customers. People hear me rocking from outside and come in and take a look around. The store gets more customers, and I rack up experience with all kinds of guitars. It's a total win-win. It certainly sounds that way. I try not to laugh as Zoey not so humbly brags about her arrangement. You know, I kind of wondered how you spend your time when we're not together at school. You really do love music, do you? Damn straight. I know I should spend more time studying, think about my future, and also that garbage, but to me, music is way more interesting. Of course, it doesn't hurt to get free meals and the occasional paycheck out of it, too. That's true. I thought there are many high school students who are already making money doing what they love. What would they say if they knew you were playing live shows while they crammed for exams? Is that a subtle jab, or are you really complimenting me? A bit of both. I smirk at Zoey. In return, Zoey adopts a troubled expression and turns away. Actually, speaking of shows... I do have one coming up, and it's been a while since you last saw me play. Also, this is kind of important to me, you know? Like it's a big night playing with a serious band. A real step up from usual. I was thinking that maybe, you know, if you're not busy. I raise an eyebrow as Zoey struggles to express herself. The typical stoic, confident, well-spoken Zoey is nowhere to be seen today. Instead, I had the joy of escorting a cute younger girl who might very well be on her first date. What are you doing, Zoey? Is that any way to ask me out on a second date? We barely even started this one, you know? Eh? Zoey stares at me dumbfounded. The Zoey I know would have told me clearly that I was coming to her show, whether I wanted to or not. She would waste no time with talk or other plans or conditions. She would simply state that the time and place and this would be the end of it. Zoey continues to stare, but only for a moment. She then closes her eyes and takes a deep breath, regaining her usual calm. Right. What am I saying? Iris, I have a gig coming up next month. Clear your schedule because attendance is compulsory. Understood? Yes, ma'am. Zoey and I smile at one another. Really amazing that you're playing with the band, though. I thought you said it would be some time before they would let you. Well, the good news for me and the bad news for them is that the old guitarist got into a car accident. That's horrible. He's totally fine, like a bad concussion, but he'll be okay in a few weeks. In the meantime, we're opening for another band, Lilylicious. They're older than Sand, but they've got history, you know? So you open for them? Yeah, we come on stage first and play a few songs while people arrive and then the audience fills in. It doesn't sound like much, but it's going to be up on a real stage and everything. Zoey gnaws on her knuckle. The grin on her face is seriously depraved. No doubt a product of a wild mental fantasy taking place all in her head. So does this band of yours have a name? Lead and Pink. Poof. Don't look at me, the guys decided on a name long before I joined. Apparently pink means, you know. Zoey smirks behind her fist, which has a small indentation from where she was biting it. The color? You know. Zoey wiggles her eyebrows up and down. What's wrong with pink? Oh, poor her. Anyways, that name is a serious upgrade from some of the other ones I've seen. The Stinky Cat Abandoner, Elsa Anna or Bust, Meep Morps, all sorts of nonsense. When you say it like that, Lead and Pink is a nice enough name. What kind of music do you like? Testing my taste? Anything you play, of course. Meant besides me. Seriously, what do you like? Zoey doesn't drop the subject. She peers at me expectantly as I fidget. Truth is, I don't listen to much music. I only really listen to classical stuff for studying. Oh, really? Peek open one eye to see Zoey's reaction. She still doesn't seem to have changed her expression. What's wrong? Geez, you act like I just asked you if you had a weird fetish. I just want to know what you like. Honestly, some people get so enthusiastic about music that meeting someone without the same taste offends them. I'm not like that. Come on. Well, you do have a lot of convictions in your ways. I'm pretty sure that's just a slight way to say stubborn. No, honestly, I'm a little jealous. Of what? Of your convictions, how you can decide things so easily. I just mean, you know what you want to do in life. I don't have any backbone. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm going to do for college. Well, what are you interested in? Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I was always taught to do my best at everything, get good grades, and now I'm going to this nice school. I'll be able to get into a really nice college if I play my cards right. I don't know what for. For a well-paying job, should I go into the medical field, business, marketing? And even if I pick a field, then I'll have to find something within those that I want to do. Right now, and for the most of my life, I've been going through the motions. As Zoey listens to me whine about my problems, I realize how foolish I sound. My voice trails off. Well, it's obvious why you're having these problems. I shrug weakly. I guess I couldn't expect someone like Zoey, who is so willing to matter-of-factly decide her life, to sympathize with me. I think you're having a harder time deciding because there's so much you could do. You're amazing, Iris. You could do anything you put your mind to. Zoey tucks a lock of hair behind her ear, speaking to me in a soft voice. My face immediately heats up. Well, even if that were true, I don't know what to do. It is true. Zoey softly murmurs, eyes traveling over my face. You're so smart, and for you to work, and you always work so hard. There's so many options out there for you. Me, I've got a one-track mind. I'm only interested in playing the guitar. I can't even play anything else. You could do whatever you want and succeed. Of course it's hard to choose. No one's ever said that to me before. Well, it's the truth. You're the most amazing person I know. I have no idea why you're selling yourself short. Is she right? A nice thought, but... Tell you what, I'll get rich and you can be my trophy wife. Problem solved. Zoey. What? Then you don't even have to bother deciding. How unstable the music industry is, you're probably going to be my trophy wife. I'm at least qualified to be a wife. I can actually cook. Arg. I prayerfully swatted her. She dodges, but not so quickly enough to escape my grasp. I squeeze my arms around her from behind. Laughing so hard she almost snorts. That is seriously not cute. I feel her arms shrug as they're trapped beneath my own. Though I can't see her face, she's probably smirking as usual. Even though I didn't get any closer to figuring out what I want to do with my life, it's nice that Zoey has so much faith in me. Though we started off awkward and shaky, we've now managed to return some semblance of our usual selves. Alright, I think that's enough chit-chat for now. What do you say we actually go inside already? I'm right behind you. So this is where you buy your clothing, huh? I'm surprised. It's actually a pretty nice place. Oi, what's that supposed to mean? I dress far better than you do. Liar, you have the figure of a model, but I definitely better than when it comes to picking out clothes. In fact, don't even think about it. Think about what? Don't play dumb. You were just thinking about picking out some clothes for me to try on, weren't you? I avert my gaze. No, of course not. But now that you've suggested it, not happening. Yeah, why not? Because you picked something pink and frilly and totally nauseating. I will not. Picture Zoey in a magical girl outfit, then as a ballerina. Neither ensemble looks good in my mind, and I doubt it will look any better in practice. The thoughts then turn to something more androgynous. As I thought, it's definitely going to be a butler outfit. You know, I probably should be offended by that, but I'm really not. So is that a yes? Sure, as long as you put on the French maid outfit as well. I widened my gaze in both surprise and joy. You want to dress up with me? No, I really don't. I just said that because I thought you would. Dressing up together, this is like a dream come true. When I heard that I had a sister, I hoped that we'd do things like try on clothes together. For a while after we first met, I thought it would never happen, but it seems I gave up too soon. No, you were right to give up. Please do so again. We came here to try on clothes, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to find a salesperson and ask where I can find the... Zoey? Zoey, come back. Hey! Come on, Zoey, wouldn't it be fun to have a bit of dress up during our date? Pretty please? No way, this time you're definitely not turning things around on me. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh no, you don't. Anyway, I'll have you know I happen to have a secret trump card up my sleeve plan, so there's no time for dress up. A trump card? So we're gonna walk around the park, see the sights, have something to eat. Oh, I want cotton candy. Something proper to eat. After that, we'll walk around for a bit more and settle our stomachs. Finally, if you're good, I might agree to go on a Ferris wheel with you. I stared at Zoey in both disbelief and anticipation. So you want to go on the Ferris wheel, huh? That's surprising. I thought you'd be more of the roller coaster type. I said nothing of the sort. I'm obviously just doing it because you might enjoy it. If you don't want to go on the Ferris wheel, I'll happily retract my offer. Aw, come on, don't be like that. Everyone loves the Ferris wheel, right? Well, if you want to go on the Ferris wheel that bad, I might have a surprise for you when we get up top. A surprise? Yep, something someone would only do on a date. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, let's go right now then. No way, we'll have to wait until it's nighttime. Then we'll rise up to the top, take in the view, and then we'll look deeply in each other's eyes, and then we'll... let's just get something to eat, okay? Hee. After briefly leaving the park to eat at a family restaurant, Zoey and I continue to walk around together. Side by side, we cover every inch of the park, giving us plenty of time to digest lunch. We lap the park a few times, and we finally decide to call it a day. Before going home, however, there is one attraction with which our date would not be complete. Zoey and I encroach upon the Ferris wheel, and at last we... shut down for maintenance. I guess a machine of this size would need regular maintenance to keep going. Just how much work goes into running one of these anyway. Oh well, maybe next time. Let's just head home for today, Zoey. Zoey? Gonna ride it. Zoey grabs me by the wrist. I said we're gonna ride it. Heck, stop that. What do you think you're doing? Ferris wheel isn't operational. Can't you see that? I don't care. We're gonna ride the Ferris wheel together, and that's that. I pull on Zoey's arm as she drags us towards the Ferris wheel. However, Zoey resists my movement with ease. Without even moving her feet, she pulls me back, putting an end to my futile effort. Zoey, stop. Zoey, I know you're disappointed. Can't fix the Ferris wheel with willpower alone. We'll come back another day, okay? You promise? Yeah, I promise. What's wrong, Zoey? This isn't like you at all. It's stupid. I wanted to end our date with something cool. I mean, we've just been wandering around to random places. That's not romantic at all. Zoey, is this your first date? Zoey looks at me. No, please. I just mean, all day you've been acting strange, you know. I'm not saying it's unpleasant. Well, actually quite a nice change of pace. But, you know, isn't it your first date too? Zoey deflects the question back at me. Taken aback, I stare up at her. She's squaring her shoulders in defiance and stepping towards me. Thick boots add a couple inches to her height, making her glare a bit higher up than normal. I let out a raspy laugh. This is just the first time she cornered me into the hall. Don't laugh at me. Zoey's voice breaks as she pleads with me. Eh? I snap my mouth shut and notice with a start that there are tears in the corner of her eyes. I'm sorry. The truth is, when I got to the apartment, I was so nervous thinking about our date. I just sat there on my bed, thinking about how I was going to go on a date with you, what I'd say and what we would even do. And I thought maybe I should buy a new outfit since I didn't have anything special. I walked into 3 stores just before our date, but nothing I tried on was any good. Then I watched you from behind a tree for 5 minutes before I could muster the courage to come over. My heart drops as Zoey finishes her sordid confession. Her shoulders slump so low that her head hangs. I didn't want Zoey to feel bad. How could I be so insensitive? Zoey. Oops, sorry. Feeling bold, I place my hand beneath her chin to raise her head. She doesn't meet my eyes, staring off into the streets. I just want to spend time with you. You don't have to wear anything new just to come see me. I like you just the way you are. Well, you were always saying my taste in clothes isn't to your liking. Oh no, what have I done? I'm sorry I made you so nervous. I didn't realize I'd made you feel so bad. I hide my tearing face in my hands. Can't bear to even look at her now. Whoa, please don't cry. Zoey frantically looks around as if someone could rescue her. I made you feel so bad that you didn't even want to come over to see me. No, you idiot, I wanted to impress you. Zoey grabs at her hair frantically while stomping. She then pulls me close and into her arms. Yeah, this is my first date, and I know it's yours too. I just wanted it to be special. I just want you to think I'm cool. Zoey slumps onto my shoulder, hiding her face. Pulling her back, I gaze at her wide eyes with the warmth in my heart. Zoey, I do think you're cool. Because I love you. Worry practically melts out of her face as she places her hand over mine. You do? I do. We gaze into each other's eyes as time seems to stand still in the park. You're seriously a dork, though. 3 stores and you couldn't find anything to wear? How is that even possible? Wahahaha. Really, I thought I was bad. I took 3 hours to get ready today. I used my favorite face mask the night before. That's good. My trophy wife should look nice and polished so I can show her off. What? I stomp my foot indignantly as Zoey barely hides her smirk. You start giggling like crazy. Rude jokes finally breaking the ice. I'm kidding. You look very pretty. I release Zoey's wrists and shake my head in amusement. The moment I do, Zoey slips her hand into mine and locks her fingers. Zoey? Something wrong? Zoey smiles back at me happily. I thought her action is completely normal. No, it's nothing. I squeeze Zoey's hand and move closer to her side. Without saying another word, the two of us leave the park, walking so close together that even a complete stranger can understand our relationship in a single glance. In the time since our first date, we've been almost inseparable. But with the weekend behind us, Zoey and I return to school for another week. It's time for the two of us to buckle down and study, earning ourselves another weekend of fun. But in this time, our hormones certainly weren't settling down. Lately, we'd been finding creative ways to take out our frustrations on each other at home. There was only one thing on our minds, and it certainly wasn't studying. But while I'm happy to wait until we get home, Zoey is not so easy to please. While I was walking to class, I got a text from Zoey to meet her in the stairwell. If I'd known this is what she had in mind. Whoa. Zoey, stop. Shh, don't talk. Close your eyes and concentrate on my fingers. I obey Zoey's command and close my eyes. I feel her hand gently stroking my face, making its way down towards my collarbone. My shirt begins to feel close, and Zoey's unbuttoning my shirt with one hand while holding me close with the other. Zoey, don't. Not at school. It's fine, no one's going to disturb us here. It's just me and you, all alone in our own little world. Zoey retracts her hands from my collarbone and brings it to my hip. Slides her hand beneath my shirt and drags it up with her forearm as her hand creeps up my torso. Ah. A soft gasp escaped my lips as the pressure on my chest drops once more. This time, it isn't because of my shirt being unbuttoned. I hear a click, and a moment later I feel a chill on my breasts. My bra slides down my body, dropping onto the floor. Plain and white. I'm a little disappointed in you, Iris. Are your panties more interesting, perhaps? Zoey tugs at my skirt, pulling the waist up so you can see up the front. Damn. Zoey lets out a sigh and releases my skirt. Oh well, it's not like I expect you to wear something erotic at school. Besides, the zipper on the side of my skirt descends, causing my skirt to loosen the same manner as my shirt. It's all the same once they hit the floor, right? Zoey pulls the zipper down a little further, suddenly stops. I open my eyes to see what she's doing. Zoey, what are you... No peeking, Iris. Zoey puts one hand over my eyes as another hand touches traces my stomach. Runs a single... Zoey retracts her hand once more, still leaving me gasping. No guesses? I wanted to hear you talk dirty for once, but I guess that isn't going to happen. Zoey moves her hand free to my back, pulling my upper body forward while covering my eyes. Zoey, isn't this going too far? We should really... Soft breeze suddenly tickles my ear. Unexpectedly and surprisingly pleasurable, the sensation causes a weak yelp to escape my lips. I try to look for the source of the unexpected sensation, but with Zoey's hand still over my eyes, I fail to do so. How cute. Did it really feel that good? Maybe I should have you return the favor. Zoey's voice is quiet. The fact that I can hear her means she's right next to my ear. I quickly piece the evidence together and realize that the strangely enjoyable sensation was the feeling of Zoey blowing in my ear. Zoey, please, I can't... Can't what? All you need to do is sit back and relax. Zoey blows in my ear again and I feel a shiver run down my spine. A warm breath then finds its way to my neck, at which point I feel a soft, wet sensation leaving its mark. Zoey's kissing my neck over and over, making her way down to my collarbone. Pulls my shirt, loosened from earlier, down to above my breast. For every inch of my shirt descends, so do her lips. Through my chest, though my chest is still covered, I can feel the air of the chest as Zoey gives herself a clean view of my breast from above. Her kisses stop a moment before she reaches my breast. Ah, your nipples are erect. You're enjoying this after all, aren't you? No, that's not... I try to protest, but I realize I'm not fooling anyone. Zoey doesn't even wait for my responses. She presses her lips against my bare skin, teasing me as she purposely avoids my breast. Before she can reach her presumed target, Zoey stops. She pulls her face away and covers my chest with my shirt. Just as I think it's over, I feel her hand on my thigh. Zoey's hand gently glides across my skin above my knee, but below my skirt, so she starts to move her hand. She softly prods my butt with her fingers and then tugs on my panties from below. Plain, white, and soon to be removed. Turned on, Iris? Breathing stops one. I know exactly what Zoey is about to do. Made her intention clear. But to let her see my school, I'd once let her peek briefly at home after she asked for a reward for acing an exam. I shyly pulled my skirt up while sitting in the dining room chair. Then under Zoey's lust-filled gaze, I pulled my panties to the side, letting her take a side of my bare lips. We've been doing things like this frequently, never really acknowledging the unspoken taboo of our relationship, not ever really taking it too far. But this is... Even so, I don't try to stop her. I simply wait for her next move, torn between embarrassment and arousal. It's okay, you don't need to say it. I'll let your body do the talking. Zoey runs a single finger over my panties, tracing my pussy through the fabric. Though she's gentle and she's so indirectly, a wave of pleasure washes over my body, and I can't help but let out another moan. I knew it. You're already this excited then. Zoey tugs at my panties once again. This time she seems intent on removing. I feel the tight fabric moving down my thighs, so slowly that the weight is agonizing. Just as I entertain the thought of removing them myself, Zoey forcibly grabs hold of my panties and, phew, that was rough. I almost forgot how difficult it is to run in long pants. Uh-oh. My heart stops as an unfamiliar voice echoes around us. The sound of 2 steps of footsteps approaches, growing louder by the second, causing panic to immediately set in. Yeah, well, what else are you going to wear when it's this cold outside? Or what would you rather be wearing, bloomers? Zoey quickly removes her hand from my body, then squats down. She hurriedly pockets my bra and glances at my face, then buttons my shirt back up as she realizes that I'm frozen solid. Hey, don't even joke about that. Some schools actually make their students wear them, you know? Schools with male principals, no doubt. Probably have us wear school swimsuits, too. Gross, 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 gross. Please, can we just change to the topic already? You're the one who started it. Zoey casually pulls me to the wall as we wait for the 2 female students to walk by. They glance at us briefly, but stop short of actually saying anything. All they see are 2 students skipping class. That was close. Maybe we should just have used the bathroom after all. Once the girl's footsteps are no longer audible, Zoey lets out a sigh. Still, it was fun. Don't you agree? Zoey looks down at me and smiles. Unable to say anything, I avert my gaze. My face is already hot and I'm far too embarrassed to make eye contact. It may be just a little. A few words escape my lips as I force myself to speak. Zoey seems almost surprised as her eyes widen, but only after a moment her smile reappears. That's so. Perhaps we should continue somewhere with a little more privacy. Zoey takes my hand in hers, but rather than walk off, she places something in my hand. I look down and find a piece of familiar fabric. Put that back on and meet me in the bathroom in 10 minutes. Don't keep me waiting. Days continue to pass as Zoey and I become more and more intimate and daring. What started as playful flirting quickly developed into public displays of affection, even cheeky moments at school. Though we're careful not to get caught by any teachers, we consistently teeter on the edge, taking stupid risks as our hormones take over. You know, even if you did forget, I don't think anybody would notice. Not a chance. There's no way that's true. Sure it is. I've forgotten them before. As long as you act natural and it's not particularly windy, there's nothing to worry about. I guess, but wouldn't it feel weird? I don't think I'd be able to keep calm at all. Haha, that's an understatement. I can see it now. Iris with a bright red face, tightly clutching her skirt and on the verge of tears. I wouldn't be that bad. What about you? You said you forgot to wear panties to school before, but there's no way you were as composed as you claim. Sure I was. Nobody had a clue. Well, except for this one teacher who was picking up skirts from the bottom of the staircase. Got all A's in his class for the rest of the semester. Zoey, you didn't. Haha, calm down, Iris. Of course I didn't. Oop, sorry. Come on now, you think I wouldn't be that careless? And if I did catch a teacher peeking on my skirt, there's no way I'd let him live. Ah, that's true. I was serious about forgetting once or twice, though. It was pretty breezy, and I was kind of worried the first time, but otherwise, it wasn't that bad. You try it sometime. I'm sure you'd get a kick out of it. Not on your life. I only brought up the topic because it's one of my biggest fears. And you thought revealing your fears to me would be a good idea? Watch your back, Iris. One of these days, I'm definitely going to make you go to school commando. Just you try it. There's no way I'll let it happen. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Next time you go to the toilet, don't be surprised if a hand reaches under the partition and steals your underwear. Oh my god, Zoey. Stop it. That's way too creepy, even for you. Oh, lighten up. You can't really be that scared of it happening. Besides, even if you did forget, it's not like there wouldn't be a silver lining. While my gaze is focused on Zoey's face, I feel a soft, warm sensation running up my thigh. I look down to see Zoey's arm. She discreetly slipped her hand under my skirt and is now stroking my thigh. Zoey, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Zoey moves her hand upward, then moves her hand from my body. Before I could breathe a sigh of relief, Zoey's hand reappears closer to the top of my skirt, quickly slips under the waistline of my panties. Without a moment's hesitation, she grabs hold of my bare cheek, working playfully as she does. Zoey, you can't. Not here. Not here, you say? Then where? Where would you like to continue? I lower my head ashamedly and glance toward a seldom-used building towards the edge of school. As you wish. Zoey moves her hand from under my skirt and moves it to my waist. Like that, we begin to walk side by side as Zoey keeps her arm wrapped around me. I looked down at Zoe's arm and began to fret. Lately, our little games have become rather extreme. We've always stopped short of actually having sex, but I still head back to class from our lust-filled encounters aroused and flushed. You don't think this is a little too obvious? What will we do if someone sees us? It'll be fine, no one's going to. Iris. Before Zoe can finish speaking, a stern, authoritative voice calls out to me from behind. Zoe and I turn around in a panic, quickly separating from one another and straightening up. Professor Podbert. What are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing. Why are you heading towards the old science building? You know that area is off limits. Oh, I was just taking Zoe there to make sure she knows it's a restricted area. That's so. The professor raises an eyebrow as he glances towards Zoe. Zoe mimics his expression without saying a word, and after a peculiar silent exchange, his attention is turned back towards me once more. Fair enough. More importantly, where were you yesterday? I didn't see you in class. Oh, right. Yesterday I had skipped school with Zoe in order to have more fun around town. I thought nobody would notice since it was only a single day off, but apparently my presence was missed after all. I was in bed. I was too sick to come to school. Zoe also stayed home in order to take care of me. I look towards Zoe and smile. Zoe offers an expression halfway between a smile and a smirk, though she's trying not to chuckle at my excuse. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. Fortunate that you have a reliable younger sister. Yes, it is. I'm very grateful to have Zoe by my side. I answer with way too much enthusiasm, causing Zoe to blush slightly and turn away. But no sooner had I spoken up than I realized something odd. Wait a minute, Professor. You know Zoe? It seemed like the two of you hadn't met before, but given that she knew it was my younger sister, I had to ask. Astute observation, Iris. I suppose I should have expected as much from a scholarship student. Yes, I know about Zoe. I was one of the teachers who reviewed your scholarship application. I was one of the teachers who reviewed your scholarship application after all, Iris. I know all about your family situation, just as I know how you badly want your scholarship. The professor's expression shifts, and his tone darkens. I feel as though he's about to say something very... Iris, you weren't sick yesterday, were you? Eh? Of course I was. Like I said, Zoe and I were ditching class again. I've been keeping an eye on you lately, Iris. Do you know why? Because your grades and latest exam scores have been slipping badly. I was worried that something might be going on at home. Thought you might be having financial trouble or having housing problems, so I dug a bit deeper. But I found no such difficulty. Instead, I uncovered an interesting correlation. Every single time you disappeared from class or skipped school, sister did the same. I looked towards Zoe anxiously. Like me, Zoe was wearing a troubled expression. Unlike her usual stoic self, Zoe let what she was feeling show clearly. She knew exactly where the professor was going. To be perfectly straight with you, Iris, you are dangerously close to losing your scholarship. Not only that, but until recently, you were our top candidate for sponsored admission into Lilium, free ride into a fantastic college which we only offer to a single student each year. Now, mere months before the decision, you're goofing off with that delinquent sister of yours? You're going to lose everything you've worked so hard to accomplish, all because of her bad influence. My face continues to heat up as I fight back tears. All of the consequences that I had initially feared, all the repercussions I had chosen to ignore, every bad thing that you choose to happen to me is now surfacing. My scholarship, the one I almost earned, the one I am aiming for, is being taken away from me. My only chance at having a top-class education, something I've worked so hard to earn with my own two hands, is being ripped away. Even so, my mind remains focused. Amid all of his warnings, there was one thing the professor said that I can't agree with. Don't blame her. It was my decision to skip class. It's not like Zoe forced me or anything. I did it myself, okay, so it's not like she's the one at fault. Tears forming in my eyes, I barely managed to squeeze out those words. Zoe looks towards me with a solemn expression, fearful that anything she says will only make the situation worse. No matter how strong and independent Zoe usually is, right now she is powerless. Look, I understand the two of you have some catching up to do. Family is important. Natural that the two of you would want to spend time together and get to know one another. Especially you, Iris. You have a very diligent, sincere personality. I have no doubt that you've only been led astray because of your deep love for your family. This is why I've spoken to the school board on your behalf. You have? I have indeed. For an honor student like yourself, it was the least I could do. I argued that your record was perfect until you were influenced by another party. After much deliberation, they agreed to let you retake your last test and prove that you deserve the opportunity afforded. A retest? Don't go thinking that this will happen again. The school never does this. There are way too many other students that will kill to be in your place, Iris. You will take the makeup test privately. Be watched closely while you do so. Be no distractions. No possibility of cheating. Have I made myself clear? Yeah, yes, Professor Podbert. Perfectly clear, sir. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Make sure that you ace the retest, okay? The school board and I will both look foolish if you squander this rare opportunity. And I don't want to hear another word about you ditching class or getting poor test results. I really stuck my neck out for you to do this, you know? Yes, sir. I won't let you down. My enthusiasm brings a smile back to Professor Podbert's face. He says everything he intended to, and my answer is exactly what he wanted to hear. But just as his expression begins to soften, the professor turns towards Zoey. And as for you, be grateful that you're even allowed on campus. After all your antics, both before and after your entrance into the school, I'm amazed you're still here. If it were up to me, you would be expelled, and Iris would complete her studies without you hindering her. You're a scourge upon your own sister, and you're the sole cause of her precarious situation. You should be ashamed of yourself. Kuh. Zoey grits her teeth. It took every ounce of her willpower not to respond to the professor's harsh words. Fine. That's how it is. I'll go. See you later, Iris. Zoey, wait. Reach out towards Zoey as she turns away. Zoey quickly storms off, and the moment I try to chase after her, a vice-like grip holds me back. Let her go, Iris. But sir, we still need to discuss the details of your retest. Let your sister vent. Some time for self-reflection might be just what she needs. Well, that's good that she didn't, things didn't happen, but I think this is a good time to stop. I'm glad that Zoey didn't lose her, not Zoey, Iris didn't lose her scholarship, and I'm glad to see that these two are getting along well, but bad things to happen. But yeah, this is the end for this episode, and in the next episode, we're going to continue on and see how things go. But if you like the videos I do and such, make sure to click the subscribe button here on the screen, along with whatever videos that you see as well. But I've been the Leviathan, and this has been Love Ribbon, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys.